We're going to see Trump really try to convince himself that he won the debate, even though he doesn't seem that he's convinced himself of that like entirely. First, after the debate, he decided to wander into the spin room, which is kind of unbelievable and a little embarrassing for him. Take a look.
Trump has come in the spin room, and he is desperately trying to get the attention that I think he needs as oxygen at this point, even though I think that most of the people in this room that are here spinning on his behalf know that he had a bad night.
Is he literally standing there like he's his own surrogate, trying to get people to talk to him about his own performance?
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly. He walked in the room. We knew that something was going on because Secret Service was around, but everybody was assuming it was going to be J.D. Vance. It's actually Donald Trump walked into the spin room to spin on his own behalf.
Wow.
Why wouldn't you look at her? The polls are indicating that we got 90%, 60%, 72%, 71%, and 89%.
Where are you getting these numbers from?
Yeah, we're going to talk about those polls and where he got those numbers from in a little bit. I also like the comment about why wouldn't you look at her, because she was looking at him the whole night and he couldn't even like make eye contact with her. But when he was asked why he came into the spin room, here is what he told Garrett Haake from MSNBC. Garrett asked Trump, "Mr. President, if you are so confident that you won tonight, why are you here? Why not let the performance speak for itself?" And Trump responded, "Well, I think it did, but people said when I come here and I made an obligation to a couple of people, I'm going to do this show, but it was I thought it was a great night." It's hard to read what he says because they're not real sentences. And then on Truth Social, Trump said this. He said, "I thought that was my best debate ever, especially since it was 3-on-1. And that 3-on-1 line is a thing that a lot of his surrogates and his supporters over on Fox News are repeating already, that it was a 3-on-1. It was Kamala plus the moderators versus Trump. But then the GOP posted on Truth Social that Trump was the, quote, reigning presidential debate champion. And, they probably had that graphic ready to go before the debate even happened, because of course they're going to say he won regardless of how it actually went down.
A storm is tearing up the digital media industry. Only our audience can save us in these difficult times. Help us reach our goal of 100,000 new members at tyt.com/team.
All right, so let's look at what the people thought, the Trump people, that is. To make himself feel better after the debate, Trump posted all these polls from right-wing accounts on X and right-wing networks, all with right-wing followers. So you can imagine how the bias is going to look there. So yeah, they all agree that Trump won the debate. We've got polls from Newsmax, the Daily Caller, Insider Paper, and Leading Report, all super reputable and not biased at all outlets. But over at CNN, things looked a little bit different. On CNN, they did a poll of the debate watchers, and they found that 63% of them handed the match to Harris. But if you thought those right-wing polls were biased, even Republicans are admitting that Trump lost and lost bad. Take a look at this.
Donald Trump was foolish at times. He won the first half hour of the debate, but then he descended, as he always does, and I don't know why. I wrote a book on the man. I can't tell you why. I mean, they talk about migrants eating dogs and cats. I mean, that's something Saturday Night Live would do. Why would you even bother to do that?
Make no mistake about it. Trump had a bad night. He rose to the debate repeatedly when she baited him, something I'm sure his advisors had begged him not to do. In the first debate when Biden attacked him, he just kept his cool and kept going. In this debate, he rose to debating, and we heard so many of the old grievances that we'd long thought that Trump had learned were not winners politically.
Donald Trump spent more time talking about people eating pets, people at his rallies, and whether he had more or less than he did about the economy. Trump better get to work, or he's going to lose this election.
That's not great. But Lindsey Graham, of all people, told Tim Miller from the Bulwark podcast and MSNBC that the debate team should be fired and Trump was unprepared. Disaster. Eric Erickson posted this to X. This one's funny. You stupid MFer you stupid MFers just got Trump to repeat your lie about the pets. Congrats on setting the news stories tomorrow by lying. So Trump picks it up and says stupid stuff. Chad Green said that Trump was being too negative. So Bonchi responded saying this, he let them bait him. For the last 30 minutes, he's been angry and off his game while she's calmed down. I'm not going to lie to people. This exchange about the 2020 election is a total loss for him with persuadable voters, whoever those are. And Bernard Goldberg said, Trump is imploding. The longer this goes, the worse it gets for Donald. All he needed to do was be normal, but he can't do it. Well, that's because he is not normal. He has never been normal, and he certainly isn't going to start being normal now. But because it's the right wing, they also wanted to blame the moderators for doing their job while also pushing conspiracies. One is that Harris must have been fed the questions. Insane conspiracist Laura Loomer, who was also part of Trump's debate prep team, posted this saying, interesting choice of earrings tonight, Kamala Harris, along with a graphic of an earpiece that's been designed to look like an earring. Brett, what do you think? Was she cheating? Was this all a big conspiracy? Was she listening in? Was somebody feeding her lines?
The photo, like, that is amazing. It is, all the through line of all of this is, you got your ass kicked when you're doing stuff like working the refs and going to the spin room yourself. Oh my God, dude. Do you know how sad that makes him look? What a pathetic loser he is. What a little baby puppy he is. Like, what an insane thing to see. You don't do that. If Donald Trump is like, it's not showing him as being accessible and an everyday guy who's like, screw it, I'm gonna roll up my sleeves and go talk to the people myself. He knew it was such a flaming disaster. The plane had hit the mountain. The villagers were on fire, running around. He needed to go do something himself. And that's such a Donald Trump thing. Like, he would love to have people for his people, for his people. Mm-hmm. This is him knowing that he failed miserably. And the cat thing. I don't know if this is an attempt to get back the crazy cat lady vote that they alienated so much by saying someone's trying to eat your cat. But it's just like, that being said out loud is actually so indicative of where our politics is at right now, because there are people who are so like, terminally online or whatever the term is, where they knew what that was from. But most people are not.
Yeah.
Most people heard that and were like, what is this guy even talking about? And Caitlin Collins totally destroyed JD Vance trying to spin it. Their new take on it is that they were just trying to memify the immigration problem. There's two issues with that. One, no, they weren't. No, they weren't. They are absolutely trying to fearmonger in the most sick, weird, detached, transparent ways that they're able to get away with now, because Fox has done such a great job of brainwashing and zombifying their base. Mm-hmm. And the second one, I forgot because I thought that was so funny. Yeah, I don't know. I forget. I lost my train of thought. But yeah, those are insane. It's just an insane place we're at right now.
Yeah, I mean, it is weird because like he pulls these things from such dark, deep places of the internet that most normal people are not in. I kind of saw something earlier that day where Elon Musk was tweeting about somebody eating pets, and I really didn't think much of it. Honestly, I thought it wasn't real. And then when I heard it come out of Trump's mouth at the debate, when they weren't even talking about anything relevant, if I recall correctly, and I just remember my jaw was on the ground. I couldn't believe it. And that's saying something, because I usually don't expect to hear good things from him. But there were a few moments last night where I was watching it and I couldn't, my brain was just like, I don't know what he's even talking about right now.
When you click the join button and become a tier 2 member, you get access to all of our weekly top 10 lists. What are you waiting for?